running. Good to meet you. May I have a seat? How was the ride up? It was good. Took you about 2 hours. That's not that far. You're not far from here. That's good. Yeah. Well, it's a good day. We're going to have to do some hiking. I think I had mentioned that right in the email. Yeah. All right. Okay. You're obviously here for the fire lookout position. You're only one of 4 people who's come in for this. So, no, unfortunately, there's never a lot of interest in this. It's an isolated position. I'll let you know. I'll let you know that right now. It's an isolated position. It's, it can get lonely. It can take a toll on your mental health as well as your physical health. It is 10 weeks. You'll start on the 1st. It goes through, I believe, September 8th would be the last day. Peak season for fire activity. Yeah. The tower itself has, there's 2 generators. There is running water as well. There's a commode out at the bottom of the tower, as well as a little kind of shower stall. The amenities are much better now than they used to be. You wouldn't get running water most of the time. It was tough. The toll it takes is a little not as hard as it once was. Doesn't mean it's easy, though. But, real quickly, I got your email here with your experiences. We call it experiences more so than a resume because, if you worked in finance or whatever, there's only certain jobs we really kind of want to see you have experience with because they'll help with us. And right out of the gate, you were a park ranger for 12 years. That's massive plus for you. You're relatively young, which is good. Younger than me. Well, thank you. Yeah. The park ranger experience is huge. 12 years is a good amount of time. I will ask why you left that position. You wanted a new change. You wanted a new challenge. Well, I'm glad you're honest about your recent divorce. I could sit here and say, well, maybe that might take a toll on you because you'll have that on your mind, but I'm not here to judge that from seeing you here for the first, few minutes. I feel like you have your head on your shoulders here. A lot of people get divorced too, so you have no children, which I hate to say is a plus, but when you don't have a lot to concern yourself with distraction-wise, it helps your mental state when you're out there. 10 weeks is a long time. In college here doesn't matter. I'm being honest. Like I said, the park ranger stuff's huge. You have a permit for a firearm, which is actually good. I recommend you bring it. Because now you're out. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to go out and check the tower out. I'll show you around the tower itself as well. But this base camp is located 10 miles from the tower, so 8 miles by drive, and there's a little lot where you'll be able to put your car. You'll see it now today. And then you gotta hike for 2 miles to get to the actual tower itself. There's no access car that way, so you don't really get, in terms of people, it's rare you'll find people out there, extremely rare. People aren't usually that deep in the woods unless they're hiding from something or if they got extremely lost. But for animal encounters, which once again, where your park ranger experience comes into play, you have experience, I would assume, with bears, deer, bobcat, mountain lion, stuff like that. Exactly, snakes and stuff. So you're well versed with those, but it's good to have some protection just in case. I believe there's a hatchet up there. We'll see when we go up there. I think there's a hatchet. There might be a machete up there too. But that stuff is up there. But it's good to be protected just in case, because you're going to be out of the tower from time to time. Sure. Another thing I saw that I like here is that you did 2 weeks, a 2-week solo hiking trip. How was it? First of all, how was that? How you enjoyed the experience? You did it in the Adirondacks. Oh, nice. So you took a trip. Because you're originally from New York, right? Okay. How long have you been out here? Oh, not too long. But you do want that experience. I will say, it's an extremely excellent experience. It's good that you took that solo hike, because you've been out in that wilderness by yourself a good 2 weeks. You experience things, because, when you're in the woods, and I know, granted, you're going to be up in a lookout tower, but it's still good to have that experience, because you'll hear all types of stuff out there, just like anywhere in the woods. That's where a lot of people start to break down, because you're just hearing everything. It's an animal 90% of the time. You read about that. Yes, there are local legends of those deep woods being haunted. I've been out there plenty for maintenance on the tower. I've spent time in the tower myself as well. I've never experienced any haunting or any paranormal action. Hey, I'll tell you what, it would have added a little spice to the job, that's for sure. But it's good. You have the park ranger experience, and you have solo hiking experience, and, camping experience, which, sounds stupid, but camping experience is good. Outdoors experience is good. That kind of life experience. I think the park ranger stuff is the key, though. 100%. And you've never been fired. Like, the thing about the other jobs is you've never been fired for any reasons, which is good. You've left all of them for your reasons or whatever. It could have been temporary jobs and stuff like that. And 12 years as a park ranger anyway is excellent experience. I saw your other jobs here, but as long as we see you're not, like, fired for certain reasons that, could be detrimental to you being out there, it's not an issue. I'll tell you a few little things about the tower itself. I said the generators, right? And then the water. All right, yeah, I did. Long day, sorry. There is a wood fire stove there. There's a bunch of wood down below. Yeah, that's why the hatchet's there, yeah, because you can hack up some small wood if you need it. I will say there is a fridge. It's not necessarily a tiny one, but it's not. Maybe it's like a medium-sized fridge, you'd call it. There's plenty of bottled water there. There has to be at least 6 weeks. There'll be 2 supply drops. You will have to hike back to the parking area to get them. It's not heavy stuff. It's maybe like 15 pounds. It's not extremely heavy. Yeah. I'm gonna have to give you a little. You actually do have some experience with the fire finder. That's good. They actually went through that in the park ranger thing. Oh, so you've coordinated with people who've been on fire lookout before, huh? All right, that's huge too, actually. I'll still go over it. That's the thing, that's primarily your job is looking for fires, and also taking weather reports and jotting down the weather patterns and activities as well. That's why sometimes, like, meteorology, if you have that kind of background, is good as well. Yeah, you're mostly looking for fires. There are 2 other towers that you will be able to see in the distance. You can coordinate with them as well through the radio that's there. Because then you can, if anything's going on, you can then triangulate where a fire is between all 3. It's easier for when they come in to put it out. Makes it easier for them. Those are well off into the distance. But it helps you're able to communicate with both of those people, though, which is good. Because honestly, you're not going to get any cell phone reception. I would suggest maybe bringing a handheld gaming system if you're into that. If you have one, books, crossword puzzles, anything. I mean, you could bring your phone too, as if you have games on it that you can screw around with that don't require the internet. 100% bring that, and you could chat with the people on at the other towers as well, which, like I said, a lot of people will do a decent amount because it helps. You're in contact with another person. Because if I'm being honest, people say, "Oh, it's fine," and you know what? Those first 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month, it's fine. A lot of people around week 5, and they've been honest, and they've not broken down or anything, but by week 5, they start to, it changes, I'll say. Your kind of mood will change. You almost become one with the woods a little bit. It's a different experience. You will probably experience. I have myself personally. I've not. It's not like I'm seeing things or hearing things that I'm like, oh, what is that? It's more just you're kind of like, oh my god, I really am alone. It almost sets in like maybe I'm gonna be here forever type stuff, but because everybody goes in thinking, oh, you're out there. It's responsibilities. You have to be a responsible person to do this. I will tell you, the firefighter, I believe there's a microwave in there as well. There might be a toaster. It's going to pretty much be, we have canned foods up there now. You can bring stuff as well if you'd like. If you don't mind lugging. I know canned goods get heavy. Because of wood fire, so you're supposed to do that's kind of not going to be a lot of like fresh things, to be honest. There is a little bit of a freezer in that fridge, so if you want to bring some stuff with you that has a kind of long expiration date, you can bring it. It's gonna be a lot of soups, peanut butter and jelly. I think there's English muffins up there. We stock the fridge as best we can. Like I said, it's not big. The canned goods are not a problem. There's plenty of cabinet space up there, surprisingly. You'll have it's about a twin size bed. It might be a little bit of a twin. It's not quite a full. Fairly comfortable. There's a little couch in there as well to just hang out. The view is fantastic. You won't tire from the view. Like I said, also keep an eye out. You'll have your binoculars. There's binoculars there. I think there's 2 pairs just in case. But just even going down, and you can kind of explore as well. There are markings on some paths that we've made out there that you can go and just to keep busy as well. You're not in the thing all day. You don't want to be in the thing all day and night. I would suggest not going out at night, but there are other little tasks. There's spots around there. We kind of want to keep track of how they're doing and stuff, vegetation-wise and whatnot. Because sometimes I'll come in and do some controlled fires in specific areas. So that as well. Mostly you're on lookout for that, for fires. That's the point, fire lookout. Yeah. It's it gets lonely regardless, even if you're I talk to myself a ton. I'm home up there. I'm sure you will too. Keep an eye out for people as well. You'll notice them, flashlights, you'll see. It's very rare. I remember, I think there was a little party out there once. I don't even know how those people got. There's probably rich kids who got helicoptered in or something. I don't know. I don't know how they got out there. It's good to kind of, anything was strange. I don't mean strange like paranormal, like I was saying before, but anything out of the ordinary, probably wouldn't fit there, because you never know. Bad people could end up in there. I'm not trying to worry you or anything, but the place is locked. There are shutters on the windows as well. Sometimes it will get windy up there. Like I said, you jot down your findings, and then you could radio back to base as well. People are in this kind of headquarters, home base place, usually 6 hours a day. Yes, there is a flare gun there as well, just in case something really bad happens. I would suggest firing directly above you. The space, there's a nice clearing around the tower itself. It was constructed, this tower was constructed in the 80s, I believe. It's the most recent, or the youngest, what do you want to say, of the three that are out there. No, I wouldn't recommend that. Walking to the other towers, I mean, geez, they have to be 10 miles, 15 miles away. They are far away. And I'm not saying you can't walk that. It's more, I don't want you away. We don't need you away from it for that long. Because that's a long hike. That's not like being out for an hour or an hour and a half or something. Yes, I mean, you got to keep track of wind and stuff like that and whatnot. Like I said, when we go up there, I'll show you the thing and kind of give you little tips on some of the stuff. I can't remember everything that's up there. There's plenty of silverware and stuff like that. I'm saying there's got to be at least 20 packs, 24 packs of water. There's got to be at least 5 or 6 up there. And we got the running water as well if you want to take it out. There's a small sink also. There should be plenty of firewood. If there's not, I'll bring some up. That's the first is still 9 days away. So, yeah, so do you have any questions for me about this? Yeah, the 8th, September 8th. The person who will be at Tower 2 always does it. They've been a permanent fixture. They're not there all the time. But they'll do 10 weeks, and then it's like 2-3 weeks off, and they come back. They love it. They've been doing it for, I believe, 5 years. The other person is going to be new as well, so there's that. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely report any sightings of bears, and specifically mountain lions. If you see them, deer is not an issue. They're rarely, or I think there's some bear sightings from time to time. They're elusive, so are the mountain lions are more elusive. Just in case if they're coming near your place, something obviously from camping, don't leave food down on the thing. Yeah, we have places to put your garbage, so that's not a problem. And I would even say, bring it back to the checkpoint area where your car will be as well, and we could pick it up. They might come for a pickup every week, I believe. But obviously that. I'm not going to tell you not to leave food out. You're an expert camper. There was one, actually 2, I'm sorry. There's one big fire. Oh, God, that had to be 20 years ago, I believe. I was not here at the time, but they talk about it still. That was a big one. It destroyed, God, it had, I don't know, a couple thousand acres. And that was they were on top of it quick. I mean, we have some better equipment now, but it takes time to get out here. They usually do airdrops of water, and then, because it's hard to get in here. The one tower has more of an easier access in if you're hitting in certain areas, but it can be tough. Yeah, 2 generators. That's actually a good question. I'm surprised I forgot to mention that. Honestly, I would shower maybe twice a week. I mean, unless you can't stand the smell of yourself. You don't want to go nuts with the water, I'll be honest, because it's been known to dry up. There is the well it's coming from, but if we have a dry season, you'll have less coming through. I mean, if it's downpouring all the time, feel free to use more of it, but yeah, definitely, that's a good question. Like I said, that is rare. People being in there is rare. I mean, they're more dangerous than the people. I mean, than the animals. Sorry, but like you said, you have a permit for a firearm, so you're not gonna have an issue. Bring it, obviously. Yeah, of course. Make sure you have enough of that as well. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, yes, there is a sizable lake. It's probably about half a mile from the tower. Yeah, I'll have the map. I'll give you the map as well when we go up there. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a fishing rod, bring it. You know, like I said, you're not obligated to be in this thing 24 hours a day. You do need to spend a majority of your time in there, but, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours out usually is the time, maybe like twice a day. Get out there. And you'll be, you know, I mean, by that I mean, you know, away from the tower, not just down below or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty high off the ground. I don't know the exact feet. It's a nice exercise, though, going up the stairs. Yes, there are. There is a first aid kit in there. There is a... I believe we have, like, aspirin and stuff in there that they swap out from time to time. You know, aspirin, even, like, you know, Robitussin type stuff if you get a little sick. If there's bad weather and stuff and you're out in it. There's bandages and stuff like that. Obviously, anything serious, you're going to have to contact us. By chance, if the radio's out, you have the flare. Yes, it goes out, but over your 10 weeks, if it goes out more than twice for like more than an hour, it's unusual. I will say that. That Firefinder it's new. It's 10 years old, maybe. Yeah, you said you had some experience with it. Yeah, you know, it's good to just help, you know, coordinate, and you can tell how far it is with this thing, the fire is from you. And then you could, like I said, triangulate with it, because you're going to want, if you see smoke, you're going to want to be on the radio with both people. And you're going to, you know, keep that, you know, and you can, you know, like I said, triangulate, coordinate where it is, give that info to fire departments. It makes it a lot easier. That's part of the reason this tower was built, because they needed another tower in another area. It probably should have been built well before it was, but yeah. Do you suffer from insomnia? No. That's good then. There might be some melatonin up there too. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I would say around 5 weeks is that you might feel a change, you know. That's absolutely true. A lot of people have found themselves out there, you know. You get such a love for nature being out there for that kind of time frame by yourself. And like you said, you wanted a challenge for yourself. Maybe it brings you more opportunities. Hey, maybe you end up coming on as a semi-permanent or permanent. Almost similar to like being out on an oil rig. You'll do the timeout, then you'll come out for 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know, because then they'll get those kind of temp ones in there for like a 4-weeker. If we have people who are permanent, we give them like 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what they want. You know, some people just love it. They really grow to enjoy it. You know, they like the solitude. Well, that's good to hear. You know, but like I said, I like the way you're presenting yourself here and stuff, for sure. But it's an interesting job. You're absolutely right. It is. It's a unique for sure. And it's not even that it's necessarily like a hard job, but it's hard like mentally and physically. It kind of wear on you like other jobs don't. But yeah, you know, absolutely. Like yeah, it's a 2-mile hike from the parking lot. It might be a little more than 2, but it's not. It's a nice hike, though. You get pretty good scenery on the way there. It's not rocky or anything like that. So, obviously, you know, that's another thing. Bring 2 to 3 pairs of hiking boots. You may wear. I know hiking boots are tough and made good, and I'm sure you have good pairs. But some of you're out there enough walking around enough out there, you might wear through one, and then just in case you step on stuff, tough rocks or anything, yeah, it's good to have it. If by chance you come across people, I would say monitor them, but definitely radio in. I wouldn't say to confront them, because they're never usually doing anything bad out there. The experiences that have happened over the past 30, 40 years. But people could be up to no good. We don't want you getting hurt. We don't want you hurting anyone. Unless it's something that if someone desperately needs help or something, absolutely intervene. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's a better chance of haunting activity happening. Yeah, is there anything else? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be honest, you are the front runner for me, just because of that park ranger experience, and because, no, I'm not going to tell you what the other people did, but I will tell you that none of them had park ranger experience. And that 2-week solo hike is actually big because it kind of was a little bit of a precursor for, what you'd be doing now. Maybe you didn't think about that at the time, but yeah, I'll show you out there. I'm going to show you the place and ins and outs. I'll show you that fishing spot as well. Yeah, if you want to catch some fresh fish from time to time, if you're lucky enough to, grab them. No, don't hunt any animals. It's restricted. It might actually be restricted fishing out there. I don't know, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you're going to check in with us. It's usually twice a day. It's usually like noon and 8 p.m., I believe, are the times. I have to look again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's head out there. You got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom first because, as long as you don't have to take a dump, it's not a problem. Just piss anywhere, but yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll meet you outside. Once again, nice meeting you. I'll be out there in a minute.